I've been itching to get rid of this hat. President Andy, Provost Darrell, Dean Linda, Arif, alumni, parents, and family of the graduates, and fellow classmates. I think it's appropriate that we mention a couple other people here that haven't been mentioned. And in the back of the room, there's Bruce Pistoli, and there he is back there. Just a minute, and we'll turn the other one around. Brian Mudge. Now, these fellows set up all the chairs, they organize everything, and they represent 2 people out of hundreds of people that served you, the food service people, people washed your dishes, the people that took out your garbage, the people that kept your air conditioning going. Those people are representing hundreds who aren't here today. But if they didn't do their jobs, this place closes down. And these talented teachers would never have been able to teach what you taught, what you got taught. So I want you all now to stand up, turn around, and give these fellows as representatives a standing ovation. Now, I have no illusions that you are going to pay any attention to what I'm about to say in the future, because in the history of graduation speeches, there's never been a graduate who's understood what this graduating speaker ever said. So I understand that. But I have an obligation to finish my speech, and you have an obligation to sit there and think of what you're going to do tonight. Now, in Wyoming, where I come from, is a wonderful state. We have no debt. We have a surplus. We're the least populous state, have the biggest coal mine in the United States. And there's one of those few places where you can make a incorrect dial on your telephone and have an extended conversation with the person. It's kind of a friendly. But there we say the key to success is a good dog, a good horse, and a good woman. And now, I want to tell you, I've been blessed. My wife, Lynn, is here, and she and I have been married for 90 years, 45 apiece. And it's been, and also I've got Deb Wilson, who's my right arm for 22 years, and I'll tell you, she keeps me out of the rain, both those women. So you're going to be very, very appreciative of the people that are surrounding you and supporting you, just like the people we just recognized. And if you don't remember anything else I say, you remember what you just did, because that will change your life. It'll give you an attitude to make sure you know who's important. You will be promoted from beneath. What I mean by that, the boss is going to pick you and say, okay, you go forward, you go forward. But you're going to be promoted by that person because of the people that you lead underneath. At Freeze Associates, we never say to someone, these are the 4 people that report to you. Instead, we say, these are the 4 people for whose success you're responsible. Mr. Pepperdine, Charles Pepperdine, would love to see these smiling faces and the spirit of Christianity I see out here. You know, as I travel around the country, I'm convinced a lot of Christians have been baptized in pickle juice. But I see a joy here. And so I want to encourage you to remember Philippians. Philippians tells us, always consider other people more important than yourself. Let me tell you a few of the things that we did at our firm to try to embody that the best we could, and hopefully you can pick one of these 2 ideas if you want for yourself. Number 1, when we took a trip, we took everybody. We didn't just take the heavy hitters. We took everybody with their spouses. One fellow, the trip cost more money than what he earned all year. Secondly, the people that cleaned the toilets sat next to us at the table of honor when we had a corporate banquet. When we wrote a letter of appointment, we said, okay, God first, family second, clients third. So the people knew if their daughter's play at school, 8th grade play, was the same night as our corporate annual banquet, they were to be at that school play. We didn't have any titles. And we loved the idea of trying to figure out how would Jesus run this firm. Simple things like, you notice he had 12 guys around him. So we tried to design the firm and 12 people in this little room over here, and then we have an office with 12, so they could develop a sense of friendship and camaraderie. I remember going to some of these New York offices, you just look like a great big beehive with all these little cubicles. That didn't seem like a nice way to get people to get to know each other, enjoy each other. We'd give the company vans so they could go down at noontime to mentor at a center city school. When we started a charity like buying or helping homeless people, we give them jobs to pick up trash. And then we have a fellow who's a retired doctor. He started a medical van. He'd travel all through the indigent areas of Wilmington, giving them medical care. And so we would make sure that people knew it was their efforts and their profits that we were giving to these causes, so they could identify with a mission in their life rather than just sitting there and picking stocks. And I love the whole notion that at the end of the year, we gave them 2% of their pay. That we gave it away, but we said, okay, take 2% of your salary and pick the charities you want to give it to. And we always strive for excellence. God loves us to be excellent. He just loves us to be excellent, to reflect our best. And so if you think of the difference between perfectionism and excellence, and I'm a recovering perfectionist, perfectionism abhors error, tries to eradicate it and destroy it. Perfection hates mistakes. Excellence embraces error, builds on it, transforms it. So don't be afraid to fail. We grow by our mistakes. They asked a very successful money manager, he was short on words, he said, how'd you become so successful? He said, experience. He said, good decisions. Well, how'd you get good decisions? How'd you do that? He said, experience. Well, how'd you get experience? He said, bad decisions. So don't be afraid to fail and build on those. A crisis is a terrible thing to waste. And